Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another bonus episode of the Splash Cast, our NFL 2024 season preview. I am your co-host, Reggie.
I'm your co-host, Norwood. I'm blessed, highly favored, and happy to be here to talk NFL with my boy, Reg. How you feeling, my boy?
Man, you see it. You see it. It is football season. We are here. You see Falcons legend in the back, Deion Sanders jersey. You see the flag flying. You see the hat. I'm excited about this year, y'all. I'm excited. We actually have some hope for a team. We got rid of a deadbeat coach. We got rid of a dead on arrival quarterback.
Two deadbeat.
We got rid of everybody, and we got a new general manager. A new coach. We built the team. I am excited. I'm excited. So y'all know what it is when it comes to our NFL preview. We're going to talk about them, the divisions, the NFC conference. We'll go by divisions. It's just kind of talk about the teams, who we think is going to win each division, who also is going to possibly have the best record in the NFC, depending on schedule and everything, of course, talent. And then we'll also do the AFC as well. How you feel on the first week of football being back, college-wise?
Well, that was a setup question. You got me. Tag, you're it. I am thrilled for quite a few different reasons. Florida State.
Here we go.
Week 0, you got it done by losing to Georgia Tech. Then you're coming back, and it looks like week 2 and going to lose again to Boston
Again.
So I'm thrilled about that. I'm going to let this truck come on by. Shout out to that guy. I'm very happy also because my Florida Gators did the needful here and lost. They lost to Miami. They got their ass whooped, and it looks like they will be fulfilling my request and getting rid of Coach Billy Napier sooner rather than later. And on this, I don't want to see a player get hurt or injured at any point, but I do believe that DJ Lagway is the future of not the Atlanta Falcons. We already got 2 quarterbacks, thank the Lord. But I do think that he is the future of the Florida Gators, and it looks like he will be taking the first team reps this week and will be leading us in our first game on Saturday. So I'm feeling great. It's up and it's stuck. What you talking about?
Well, we're not in the same position as the Florida Gators in the NFL. Our Falcons have to show some life. We've made a lot of moves. So without any further delay, let's go ahead and get started, man. We're gonna start out with the NFC conference. We're gonna start out with our Falcons. You see it. We're gonna start out with the NFC South. The Atlanta Falcons. They made a lot. There's a lot of trending news going on in Atlanta. Young talent. Kirk Cousins has been added at quarterback. Surprised the world. Drafted Michael Penix Jr. Didn't really do much in the offseason from June to July. And then August came and the bombs were dropped. They got Matthew Judon.
Unless you plan to bang.
Got Matthew Judon. Got Justin Simmons for the other safety spot. We also got Raheem Morris as our new old coach. So however y'all want to call it. Zach Robinson is who everybody is really, really hyped about as offensive coordinator. He's from the Sean McVay tree. Then you also get Kyle Pitts back. So the Falcons plus you get Grady Jarrett back, who was out last year. You still have those young defensive linemen. We extended A.J. Terrell. So now we have a corner, Westlake.
At a reasonable price.
Yes, sir. So it looks like this is our year to actually to make some noise, man. How you feel about the Falcons?
I feel invigorated. When the rest of my team seemed to be melting down, Braves included, just injury after injury, the Hawks, I don't know what we're doing. And then you and the Gators, I'm waiting for the rebuild to begin with those guys. The Falcons have done everything that we needed them to do. I wanted to make sure that you once again, and I'm going to hold your feet, both feet, left and right feet, put them right to the fire. We're going to thank Terry Fontenot again. Reggie at one point thought this man was an undercover, and he has brought nothing but blessings to us.
Boy,
bountiful blessings.
Yeah. Gumbo. He gumboed it up, Shawty. You started out like, man, what you doing? You up there got some chicken? Like, what you?
Hey, man, let that rule.
Let me tell you something. When he signed Kirk Cousins, I was like, dog, this is awful. Then they showed all the money, and you were like, man, this is crazy. Even though we did give Kirk Cousins that signing bonus, it still was ugly. Those moves came back to be so key in the offseason now that we've seen all of this stuff with Dak Prescott, which we'll get to. All of this stuff with these receivers, which we'll get to. All of these holdouts for all of these stars. Everybody we've signed and have signed, except for maybe Judon, kind of look like a steal. And Judon, as you said, is a rental anyway.
Let's say a couple things here. He is a man of plan and action. And when I say plan and action, I mean tampering planning. First year, I don't care what you say. He tampered and got Jesse Bates. Jesse Bates was signed, sealed, and delivered no Stevie Wonder before free agency even began.
Yeah, he was there.
and that's the number one safety in the world. Then you come
shot
back.
at goal allows.
Yes. Then you come back. Re-tamper. Got caught. Don't care. Nobody cares. You got Kirk Cousins. Everybody said, whoo, y'all paid him so much money. Funny story. Look at the price of quarterbacks now. And like you said, we paid him up front. Ain't no backloading, no stretching. Let me tell you. And if there's anybody who knows about backloading and stretching, we're going to talk about Deshaun Watson. And he know about backloading and he know about stretching.
Yes,
Pause,
sir.
if applicable. But we not behind on the money. The money is not funny. We got AJ Terrell on a deal.
Falcons look good, man. And what?
And we got him away from the Saints. You never arm your enemies.
Oh yeah, Justin Simmons. Yeah. So the Falcons look to be the favorite.
Terry Fontenot.
Oh, Terry Fontenot and Justin Simmons. Justin Simmons came down to sign it between us and the Saints. So you have the Falcons, who to me are the clear-cut favorite. I wouldn't say clear-cut, but they're the favorite in the division. Then you also have. Let's talk about the Saints. The Saints, I don't know what they are with Derek Carr. It seems that Spencer Rattler has created another quarterback controversy. I think the Falcons kind of, the way that they did it by not playing Penix, they was like, we don't want no parts of a quarterback controversy. The Saints, on the other hand, the writing is on the wall that you're not going to win with Derek Carr. He's a serviceable, really good version of something. Trent Dilfer?
Is he serviceable? He's a car that needs to be serviced. It's expensive.
He's not bad. He's a zero. He's a placeholder. He's not bad. Yeah. He's just not good.
But if you're going to pay that much, I don't want a placeholder.
Well, that much is relative because now his contract don't look that bad.
We got to see what he's getting paid. But if he's getting paid anywhere near, I mean, he ain't that far off from Kirk. And I would assume that the Saints would rather have Kirk than him.
Kirk off an Achilles. Yeah. So, but they did add Kool-Aid. They added Kool-Aid McKinstry in the draft, where they got him in the second round. I think that was a steal. They got Spencer Rattler. They have Chris Olave already there. They have what's the other corner that plays there came from Ohio State? Number 22. Him and Julio used to always go at it. Well, they have a stout defense in terms of just overall defense, but the thing that they don't have is a lot of playmakers anymore. Cam Jordan's older. They don't create a lot of turnovers. And I don't really know what this offense is. I haven't heard anything about Alvin Kamara. I haven't heard anything. I don't know what they plan to do. I know the coaches seat is warm because the offense was so inept, and you go from Sean Payton and Drew Brees to kind of what you got now. And they have weapons, but I don't know if I don't know if they can put it all together, to be honest.
Whereas I look at the Falcons and I think, how does the offense, like how fast and how good can the offense be? I look at the Saints and think, man, you put a lot of pressure on Chris Olave. He's got to be the guy. And
well, they got old boy.
If I look at
they got another dude from Wake Forest. He's supposed to be Marcus Colston part 2.
Yeah, good luck finding him. And if I'm Kamara, realistically, like you said, this team is not trending in a positive direction. I'm getting off before it hits rock bottom. I assume that this is the last year Alvin Kamara plays for the Saints happily. And I'm not sure if he's happy this year. So I don't think that this team is headed in the right direction. I think that the best thing that they can do is pull the plug, get rid of Carr, move on from Kamara, build it around Olave, and see if you can get some money back and get you a quarterback of the future. Because there are going to be quarterbacks available.
So you don't think Spencer Rattler is it? He's been making a whole lot of noise in that camp.
You're right. I do like him, but that ain't my one and done. I'm okay with a good, healthy quarterback competition. Now, if he wins the competition, fine. But I would be looking for an older guy who's looking to leave his team. I feel like they're going to be those.
I would look for the Saints. So I have the Saints, so the whole NFC South has the easiest schedule. They have 4 of the 5 easiest schedules, and the other team is the Bears, because we all play each other and we're all not that good. And I think we end up playing the AFC West and NFC North this year, I believe. I can't remember. But I don't think the Saints, I expect for them, if they're not in contention for the playoffs by trade deadline, I expect Alvin Kamara to be traded. I expect Derek Carr. Somebody's good. Minnesota could use Derek Carr right now. And I think Derek Carr's only got 1 more year of his contract, if I'm not mistaken. He shouldn't have a lot of years. But
they're gonna go with McCarthy next year, so I don't think that he is a viable future-facing asset. But I mean, Dallas, if you want to get rid of Dak, you can get something cheaper.
That's not going to happen until the end of the year, though. I'm just talking about at the trade deadline. It's going to be Alvin Kamara. I could see Cam Jordan getting traded to a contender. Like, I could see a full fire sale happening if the Saints aren't good. And the thing is, I haven't heard anything. There's been literally no news about the Saints. Like, they've talked about the Falcons. They talked about the Bucs, the Panthers. But everybody with the Saints is just like, we'll see.
Really? But I can't lie. The Falcons have kind of outshadowed everybody. Bryce, the Panthers.
Well, let's move on.
We can talk about them now.
Right. Let's talk about them. They in a rebuild. They in year 2 of the rebuild of the owner's wife's plan to draft Bryce over C.J. Stroud because he's a nice young man, and she's gonna build the team that way. They did draft Xavier Leggett. They got a few other players in the draft. The biggest thing that the Panthers did this year was retool their offensive line. I think they spent almost $250 million on the new offensive line. I know they spent $100 million on the guard, 4 years, $100 million. And I believe they got another guard that's 4 years, $80 million. So one thing that Bryce was doing a lot last year was running for his life. And they did offload Spider-Man. Defensive end went to the Giants. He had like 4 sacks against the Falcons in game. Brian Burns.
Yes,
but they
beat us single-handedly.
But they have Horn at DB, so he's still there. I thought the Falcons were going to try to pry him away, but he's going to be one of those linchpins. I just think that the Panthers are still a receiver away, even though Xavier Leggett is supposed to be him. I think he's going to be able to run really fast, but I don't know if he's a great route runner. He kind of reminds me of DJ Chark. And then I still think they need a couple more pieces on defense. I don't know about their linebackers. Their D-line is kind of sus.
losing Brian Burns is a big loss. They have to do a better job. I know they spent the money, but spending the money is part one. Then you have to actually protect that little guy in Bryce.
Mm-hmm.
The weapons are not enough for me. I like Leggett a lot, but I gotta see it on the field. I think that Adam Thielen is still their wide receiver too. That is not enough. That is a problem. It can't
be because they got old boy from Mississippi the year before.
Look at the depth chart. Go look at the depth chart.
Oh, it can't be that bad.
And that to me leads to what we saw a lot of last year, which is the thing that they were most effective with, and that is their owner having meltdowns. So that's what I have here on my notes is when does David Tepper have a meltdown?
Ooh, they got Chuba Hubbard and Miles Sanders.
Yes. And does he throw a drink at somebody or does he go into a restaurant and ask the restaurant owners to take down the sign that takes a shot at him? That's my question. That's it.
Yeah, they're a young team. Bryce Young.
It's a very nice way to say that your roster sucks. Don't worry, I have it in my notes here.
It's not bad, but they have to figure out a way to manage that roster. And they did get the offensive coordinator from who? They got an offensive coordinator from the Bucs, who is now their head coach. So
is the last name of Nazareth. If it's not Jesus,
there's no way. So they got Deontay Johnson, Adam Thielen, and Jonathan Mingo. They run a 3 wide receiver, 1 tight end, 1 back set. There's no way Adam Thielen is starting over Xavier Leggett to me. You have to play Xavier Leggett, and Adam Thielen is just going to have to be a coach. You're going to have to be just a wide receiver assistant coach. Like, you can't be out there. You're too slow. But they don't have any.
Rajon Rondo.
Because they got Deontay Johnson from Pittsburgh. Though.
Lou Williams. What all of these people have in common with you is they should be coaching. Thielen, you should have, I'll be honest, you should have been coaching since you left Minnesota. And some people believe that the only reason you wasn't coaching in Minnesota is because Diggs was there. But you, Scamathy.
They got Jadeveon Clowney.
Okay, congratulations. Anybody who wanted Jadeveon could have had him, and he's played for damn near half the NFL by now. Nobody wants to keep him. Nobody wants to bring him back. And I said that, and I did say it on day one with Jadeveon Clowney. Low motor, and he's an NFL journeyman. Good enough, but nobody calls him back. And you know what they say about the women that nobody calls back.
You waiting on me to say it?
Nope, I'm gonna leave it there. What is understood need not be said.
I know. I don't know if I'm supposed to say that part.
What? Hey, I'm married. I am married. We support Black love. What you talking about, man?
Well, the final team, of course, is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Buccaneers lose their offensive coordinator. They sign Baker. They sign Mike Evans.
Good job.
They really didn't do anything else, did they?
Nope.
So they're just going to – the thing about football, okay, so yeah, they got Rachaad White at running back. He's actually pretty good. They rolling with Chris Godwin. He got hurt. Jalen McMillan is super fast, so he's pretty good. Cade Otton is all right. Their defense, they added KJ Britt. They got 2 different corners now. Davis he went west, if I'm not mistaken. So, and then of course they have Antoine Winfield Jr., who is the eraser back there at safety. I don't know what this team is. Vita Vea is older. He can't stay healthy. Kalijah Cansey, he's supposed to be the next Aaron Donald or Grady Jarrett, but I don't know what this team is. They didn't improve to me. They just kind of was like, we're going to run it back.
I am happy you said that. I literally have here, what is this team's identity? I don't think that this team has an identity. It's different now for Baker. He went from, hey, can you hold this thing in the road, So now there's an expectation for him to be a decent quarterback. When I've seen Baker play in the past, when he was an underdog at Texas Tech, he walked on. He's a starting quarterback. When he was an underdog at Oklahoma, he walked on starting quarterback Heisman Trophy. He got to Cleveland where there was an expectation. Dud. For whatever reason. Now, I don't put all of that on him. I think that Cleveland is a pretty poorly run organization. But then he came back to Tampa after Tampa Bay. No expectation, low expectation, exceeded expectation. This is once again a chance for him where he's going to be, I guess he's the incumbent. Like, he's the expected winner, even though I think the Falcons are better because they won last year. So with expectations, can he be successful? And that's the question I have for Baker. And it don't look good. I think Bowles gets fired.
I don't believe in the Bucs. I do think that that was my next point. I think this is a year of transition for them. It's hard for a defensive coordinator to win after losing your offensive coordinator or defensive head coach. I'm sorry, to win when you lose your offensive coordinator, especially the way that the league is going. So there's really, unless he hits gold with this new OC and he and Baker can hit it off and they just, because it seems like to me their offense is going to be either throw it to Mike Evans or try to run a screen to the super fast kid. Like, there doesn't seem to be a lot of pieces for creativity on that team.
Yeah, for me, now I will tell you there are two coaches that I'm sneakily scared of. Ryan Nielsen, who did a fantastic job with the Falcons and now has moved on to defensive coordinator with the Jaguars. I could see him coaching this team. And once again, Zach Robinson, our offensive coordinator. In order for us to be successful, he's going to need to be successful and need to be looking for a job next year or two. So I think that they're going to move to a younger head coach in the future. I don't think that Bowles kind of fits Baker, and I think that Baker is going to be the best of what you can get available at that price.
Yeah, that's all business is a copycat, and this is a copycat league. If you can find the young hotshot OC to be your next head coach, they're gonna do that every time. So, who do you have win it? So, pick your order of finish. Or you want me to go first?
We'll go back and forth. I'll take this first one. I got the Falcons at 1. I have the Bucs at 2. Have the Saints at 3, and the Panthers will be lucky to be alive by the end of the season.
I agree. I had the Falcons, the Bucs, the Saints, and the Panthers. I'm telling you, if the Saints start out slow, that could really be the Panthers finishing 3rd and the Saints finishing 4th. Because the Saints are old. And they're old. They're at the end of the regime. Right. They want to get rid of the coach. It could happen. But I agree with you. That's
the undertone is they want to get rid of Todd Bowles. And I think the Todd Bowles, honestly. No,
that's Tampa Bay. The Saints.
Oh, I think they want to get rid of Dennis Allen. I think let's just clean this thing up. Let's start it over. You're right. And worst come to worst, we can start with Spencer.
Yep.
Spencer.
We can get some for Kamara. We could trade some of these players because they ain't got nobody on defense other than Cam in the
and even if Spencer ain't the greatest, if we get the right coach, he can dress it up and make it real.
So we'll see. But again, the top two this is a battle between the Falcons and the Bucs, and we're both taking Falcons, Bucs, Saints, Panthers in the way that we take it. Falcons winning the division, so we have them as one of the 4 playoff spots.